Welcome to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Coming up, how old is too old to be watching cartoons?
Also, should we be trusting Apple? Probably not. And more on the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot, Radio U.
Think about the worst people to steal from. I mean, stealing's wrong from anybody. But the top of the list of people you don't want to steal from, I think like the elderly would be up there.
That's a big one. That's the first one I thought of.
Who else? Who else would be top on the list?
Stealing from the elderly, children.
Children, particularly maybe Girl Scouts.
Oh, no.
That's exactly what one man in Fort Worth, Texas did. Police are now on the lookout for a guy who robbed the Girl Scouts outside a Walmart while the Girl Scout and her adult supervisor were seemingly distracted. A man walking by the table snatches the money and makes a break for it. And so now there's a surveillance footage, and the man yet to be identified as of this time. And so police are trying to find any leads they can possibly get to try to track down this Girl Scout thief. Of all the places to steal from, it's pretty low. And you think about it too. He stole the money. He could have easily stolen the Girl Scout cookies that were sitting on the table. He probably would get away with that. They're not going to make a big stink if he just took a box of cookies. But he had to take the money.
He needed the cash, apparently. Yeah. And there's people everywhere in this video.
Yeah.
Nobody goes into action. Nobody. There's like 15 bystanders. And they all just watch this dude just run away.
And yet again,
with this little girl's money.
You think about anybody that you might want to step in and support, that somebody might want to stick their foot out and trip to help out the victim of the crime. It'd be Girl Scouts. And still everybody just kind of minds their own business and does not get involved in this guy able to make a clean getaway.
And there's so little chance this man gets caught.
At this point, yeah. I mean,
the video is like, you can't even tell. You can't tell.
They have a pretty good picture of his face, but
I'm seeing the second photo now. Maybe we can't catch him.
Maybe, but how much effort are they going to put into catching this guy?
Because it was like $40.
Right. How much could it possibly be?
They should catch him.
To prove a point.
Yes, to prove a point.
It's Texas, too. It's Texas.
This is such a low-tier crime.
Yeah.
Stealing from the bottom of the barrel. You're a child. Mm-hmm. You're stealing from a child. You need to reevaluate some things. And this was, you can clearly tell that this was a premeditated plan. He walked outside of the Kroger, Walmart, whatever, and had nothing. He didn't buy anything from the store. He walked in the store, saw the Girl Scout money sitting there probably, walked out, knew he was grabbing it on the way.
You think he went to Walmart that day and he was thinking when he pulled in, he was thinking, I'm going to steal something. And he was walking into Walmart, and then he saw the Girl Scouts, and he's like, well, it'd be much easier to steal from the Girl Scouts than Walmart. The Girl Scouts don't have loss prevention. And so there he goes. I also think this is a learning lesson for the Girl Scout. You can't just leave the money sitting out obvious like that.
It was horribly placed money. Yeah. It's sitting in like a basket next to their table.
Yeah. Just out on display.
And it's like propped up to where it's, that's just an easy grab then.
Yeah.
Who keeps money in a bag?
It's unusual.
It seems if you're asking for it to get stolen. I'm sorry.
That's
a horrible place.
That's his defense. He's like, I'm teaching her a lesson. The Girl Scouts is about preparing you to achieve future goals. You're not going to achieve future goals if your money's always getting stolen. So don't leave it out.
Regina says Texas and no one stopped him, ? I know. I'm just as shocked as you are.
That's what I'm saying. If this was California, it'd be one thing.
Nobody even did how sometimes people do like a light jog after someone when they're like confused as to what's happening.
Yeah, nobody's
people are
hey,
yelling.
Hey, wait.
Yeah, no one even stepped towards him.
You get back here.
Yeah, nobody.
Nothing.
No reaction. There were people bystanding. They just continued their conversation. Didn't even turn a shoulder.
Spoken.
Add a little Riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Ever done this, Isaiah? The age-old trick. One of your electronic accessories. Say maybe, I don't know, iPhone gets wet, and so you put it in a bag or a bowl of rice.
I haven't had the water issue with any of my phones.
Wow.
I've been pretty good.
Lucky you. You know anybody who's done the rice thing?
I am sure I do.
It's a trick that's been used or recommended for years now until today. Apple has put out a recommendation that people do not put their iPhones in a bowl or a bag of rice. They claim that small particles of rice could get inside and damage your iPhone. So they say don't to do it.
Do you trust them? Do you really trust them? I don't trust them.
I mean, they made the dang thing, but on the other hand, they seem to like to find any reason they can to get you to come into an Apple store and get one of their guys, one of the geniuses to fix it.
Uh-huh.
And maybe say, oh no, I can't fix it.
New phone.
You're going to have to get a new one. Yeah, but they did put out some recommendations of how to fix it instead. So maybe we follow those.
What are those?
They say that if your iPhone or charging connector get wet, first of all, unplug, obviously. Secondly,
thank you, Apple.
Tap your iPhone gently against your hand with the connector facing down to remove excess liquid. Leave your iPhone in a dry area with some airflow. Allow at least 30 minutes. Try charging with a Lightning or USB-C. Can we cut and start over?
A charging cable. Goodness.
The accessory. If you see the alert again that says the phone can't charge, then there must still be liquid in the connector or under the pin of your cable. Leave your iPhone in a dry area with some airflow for up to 1 day. You can try again to charge or connect an accessory throughout this period. It might take up to 24 hours to
All right,
fully
I'm
dry.
over their stuff.
Yeah.
This is all crap information. I don't
Yeah,
trust
they don't
these.
have any
I don't trust
additional
them.
help.
0% trust them.
They say no rice. They also say don't try to heat up the phone. Some people say you're supposed to do that. You don't trust them?
No trust. I mean, if you think about it, if you have an iPhone, it feels as if every time a new iPhone comes out, your iPhone gets worse.
Yeah.
Every time an update is installed on your phone, it feels as if your phone gets worse. The thing that's really upsetting me right now with Apple is my iPhone has a ton of storage, like an unreasonable amount of storage.
Yeah.
And I have somehow filled it up. And I am of the belief that I have not filled it up. I think they are lying to me.
And for making stuff up.
It makes no reason. They're like, there's no reason this makes sense. I have 250 gigabytes of storage on my iPhone.
Should be more than enough.
Yes. And my roommate has 16 gigabytes.
Yeah.
And it shows for some reason on my phone, I have 70,000 gigabytes of photos. And my roommate has 3 gigabytes. Yet we have the same amount of pictures. So I don't believe.
Did you try uploading them to the cloud or something?
See, then I don't even believe in the cloud. I don't know what the cloud is. I don't believe in that either.
Isn't it iCloud?
I'm sure I have some cloud.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the cloud even goes. Nor do I know how much room I've got up there.
Have you tried clearing any caches?
I have not tried the caches.
You gotta clear the cache.
And the thing about the cloud too is they're always telling me my cloud is full. Would you like more cloud? I don't know.
No, not the cloud. The full cloud.
I don't want more cloud because I don't know what cloud is. All right, so I'm tired of Apple.
Well,
they're making me upset.
It's them storing your photos, your data, not locally on your phone, but elsewhere.
Somewhere else.
Like you upload it and then you can download it again, but it's just online somewhere.
I'm just pushing
that
off
only
those
you
gigs
can get. Yeah.
And paying for the cloud. It's like I'm putting a storage unit.
Oh yeah, if you got to pay for it. You don't want to do that.
And I'm
That's
not.
stupid.
I don't.
Just delete some pictures.
Delete the pictures. Exactly. What screenshots am I putting on the cloud that I really need to save for months down the line? I need to clean out my phone.
I don't know. There's probably a tech person that's really upset with you right now.
Either way, Apple,
a big iPhone user.
On my bad side right now.
Yeah. So if you do drop your phone in water, you're going straight to the rice.
No, straight to the rice.
Just to stick it to Apple.
I'm not going to an Apple store.
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
Do not put your iPhone in rice if it gets wet. Isaiah doesn't trust him. A lot of people, I don't know if you saw Isaiah chiming in, like Jim, who says he had an earpiece get wet and the bag of rice fixed that. I didn't even get to say, yeah, I've had a bag of rice success stories. You know what? The bag of rice might get particles of rice in your phone and damage it, but my phone being wet really definitely seems to be damaged. So I think the rice feels like a better way to go. Nicole says it sounds like your iCloud storage is full, but your phone storage is actually not. And so you don't need to delete anything. Your phone is fine. That's what Nicole says.
So I'm good to go then.
Yeah. Yeah, you're totally fine. Yeah. So a lot of texts coming in. People saying, I guess, unsurprisingly, people not necessarily supporting you in your phone issues.
Not supporting me in my phone issues.
It sounds like they think you don't know what you're doing, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I probably don't. My storage feels like it's full.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps on telling you my storage is full.
Mm-hmm.
And so if somebody wants to come over and delete things or back things up or do whatever they need to do with my phone, I feel like as a 25-year-old, I would be able to figure out how to use an iPhone. I'm pretty technologically savvy in that way. So that's another reason that I get upset with Apple, because if I'm confused about my phone stuff, how do you think my mother is doing?
Imagine all the other people, that are just probably buying up even more iCloud storage. Even
have
though
no idea.
Not necessary at all, possibly.
I'm trying to explain the cloud to my dad. I don't even understand it. You think he's going to understand the cloud? He doesn't know the cloud.
And they don't call them geniuses for nothing. That's all I'm saying.
And so for Apple to put us in this position, not a fan of mine.
Yeah.
But I got a couple questions here for you, Hudson.
All right.
At what age are these things no longer acceptable? We're going to kick it off with cartoons.
I don't know if cartoons are ever not acceptable.
You think that they're good to go forever?
To watch on your own?
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, it'd be weird to walk in and your grandpa's watching cartoons. But I'm a grown man. I'll watch cartoons. I will watch SpongeBob on my own.
Was there a point in your life where you felt embarrassed to say that you still watch cartoons?
Because
I felt that. From mainly my peers. I feel like when you get into high school, it feels as if anything can be embarrassing.
That's true, yeah.
Like my younger brother was obviously watching cartoons, and I was like sticking my nose up at it while also wanting to watch SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm too old for that. And now that I'm 25, I'm like, I'm not too old for that.
It's just definitely
like the best shows.
It definitely depends what it is. You know? Because some grown-ups now, no kids will watch Bluey. People love Bluey.
See, that's for me.
Even though that's for a child. But for me, I feel like I would feel weird watching Bluey, but SpongeBob, fine.
SpongeBob forever, okay.
Peppa Pig, weird. But I'm trying to think of another one.
See, because then we think it's just SpongeBob, okay?
No,
is it just SpongeBob?
No, because Scooby-Doo,
Scooby-Doo is fine.
Phineas and Ferb, possible.
Possibly okay.
Yeah.
Because I think SpongeBob kind of skews this. I think most people would say SpongeBob is fine.
Yeah.
Because it's so legendary. But there are shows that now as an adult, I think it'd be weird.
Also,
my girlfriend watches Wizards of Waverly Place a lot. For me, I'm like, I'm in the middle on that one.
Could it just be, is it just the shows you grew up with?
Could be.
Like if I was, what are the popular cartoons now?
I have no idea.
Me neither.
Exactly, so we don't watch them. How about this next one? Setting multiple alarms to wake up.
Never too old.
You don't think
you
so?
You don't ever have to stop that.
I think if you're like living with your partner, that's going to be annoying for them.
It doesn't seem to bother my wife very much.
So she doesn't care that you have 7 alarms?
I have 3. I usually.
Oh, okay, well, that's like a baby amount. 3 is not bad. Some people set like 11. There's people that are going to text in that set like 11 alarms.
Yeah.
My roommate sets an alarm to go off 2 hours before he wakes up.
No, he does
That
not.
way he knows that he has 2 hours left to sleep. He said it feels better. And then he has
That's
like
wild.
17 after that.
That's wild. You got more of these?
I have more of these.
Yeah, we should do some more. 8772 Radio U. Chime in on when you're too old to watch cartoons, when you're too old to set too many alarms, and Isaiah's got more coming up.
The stories you love with the opinions you hate. The Riot Radio U.
Are you too old to be doing them? The first one was cartoons. People have been texting in, Isaiah. Stephanie says, does that include like Adult Swim cartoons? Cartoons made for grown-ups. Are you ever too old for that?
I don't think you can be too old for like The Simpsons or anything like that.
If they're made for adults, then how could you ever be too old? Sarah says for cartoons you could watch as a grown-up, Clone Wars. You're never too old for that.
Clone Wars is fire. I've watched Clone Wars.
I never watched any of the Star Wars cartoons. Not for me. Chad says, Bluey is amazing. I'll start watching with my daughter, and she'll get up and leave, and I'll keep watching for a few more episodes.
I've never seen Bluey, so I can't talk to that point. I've never seen it. But that sounds wild to me. But only because I've never seen it, and they say Bluey is made for young children. I don't know what Bluey is.
It definitely feels like a younger show. D says, if you grew up with the cartoon, it's fine. It's cool.
Okay, that's a good standard then.
So if it's something
that's new, I can't watch it.
No, you couldn't watch. Apparently, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I looked it up. That's on Disney Plus. That's like a newer cartoon. You couldn't watch that, apparently. Even though I know full well there are adults that watch that. I'm not one of them. I've seen it. I don't watch it. But I know that grown-ups definitely watch that. So how uncool can it be? What else was on your list?
We also talked about setting multiple alarms.
Yeah.
D says, I set an alarm an hour and a half before I need to get up to take my asthma meds, and I usually go back to sleep. Well, that seems like a necessity.
Yeah, right.
I'll say the next one. What about living at home? This is a touchy subject.
This is touchy. Some people are going to get upset.
People get mad about this. We're not saying, I know that there's people that are older that live with their parents.
Yeah.
And they're totally cool with it. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. You could say...
Sometimes it feels like your parents live with you.
It does. You kind of make that transition.
Yeah.
Maybe you're helping pay the rent. Maybe your parents need you to live there.
Yeah.
And you're helping them out.
Mm-hmm.
But also, many people do move out.
Mm-hmm.
And you could even ask the question of, at what age is it a red flag if someone you're dating is living with their parents? Because lots of my friends do.
Yeah. That's a tough one because you think of it too. I know in the United States, I feel that we are more adverse to living with your family than people in other cultures. But to me, I feel like this is generous. I feel like 25, 26, because that's the age you can not be on their health insurance. Like at that point, you're fully adult in every sense. You can't be on their health insurance anymore. It feels like you shouldn't be in their house unless you have a pretty good reason for it.
I'm thinking 30.
30?
Yeah. Because I know many of my friends live at home. If I didn't have my dog, Jim, I would live at home right now. No shot I wouldn't. I mean, especially for like the people that like most people, I think if you're trying to move into your own place, you need to be at least at a good point with like any kind of like student debt if you have that from college.
Yeah.
I've been out of college for 3 years. So most people don't have their student debt under control for almost until they're much later than that. So I think 30 is like you're starting to get to the point where you're like, all right, this probably could be a red flag now.
Yeah.
If you're dating, not that I think there's anything wrong with 30, but I think that's probably where I would be.
Yeah.
What about staying up late at night?
When is that? I don't know. That's another one. I don't think there's an age that's too old
to stay up late. I can't stay up late.
But if you could, wouldn't you? I can't.
No.
I can't stay up late. Even on the weekends, I can't do it anymore. It could be partly because of just how this job has affected me, waking up so early during the week. But if you are capable of staying up late and functioning, like, what's the problem with that?
See, I think I value sleep too much now.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to be tired.
I know we like it. I like sleeping, but I also wish I could stay up late. So I wish every once in a while, once a week, once a month, that I could have a night where I make it past midnight would be fun.
I don't find the joy in it anymore.
Yeah.
In the staying up past midnight. I can't make it up past midnight if I'm not doing anything with my friends. If I'm staying at home, I'm going to bed before 11 o'clock. I can't. I just won't be able to function the next day.
Yeah.
Final one, dressing like an adult. At what age? I've seen a lot of girls talking about this on TikTok, how they want to dress more ladylike. They're saying, how much longer can I wear tank tops for? How much longer can I wear these certain outfits that people would determine not as an adult-like outfit? Like, I don't dress like my dad. My dad wears khakis every day.
28.
28.
Yeah.
I like the stern number.
Yeah,
I love the stern. I kind of agree with you, too.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty spot on.
That's your transition. That's a transition.
So you're saying at 28 years old, I have to stop wearing sweatpants to work? Because you wear jeans every day.
I wear jeans. I'm very grown up.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
YouTube channel and Facebook page. I have here a new report from Wallet Hub. It details not only how hardworking we are as an American people, but also the most hardworking cities in the United States. Before I get to the cities, get this, Isaiah. The average American worker works 1,811 hours per year. Think about that. 1,800 hours you work every single year. You're giving up your life to go to work.
That's a lot of hours.
It feels like a lot of hours when you add it all up like that, which, by the way, is far more than workers in countries like Japan, the United Kingdom.
Don't even tell me.
I
don't even want to know.
Which is crazy because Japan, I always feel like they work so hard in Japan. But we're working more. Working harder. Hard to say.
Working longer.
Working more. Absolutely.
We spend more time in the office. Are we doing anything?
Yeah.
We cannot be sure.
That's right.
But we're in there.
Yeah, we are.
Or we're at home and we're clocked in.
Now,
one of the two.
If you had to guess the most hardworking city in the United States, which city comes to mind?
Well, you think about like New York, the first one.
Yeah.
They say it's busy there.
City never sleeps.
They say it's hard to make it there.
Yeah, it's hard to make it.
Some
if you
people
can make it there, you can
hard.
make it anywhere.
You got to be working hard there, right?
Not
a bunch of slack-offs there.
Yeah, but not enough to make it into the top 5 most hardworking cities in the United States.
Who's at the top?
See, if I was going to guess, I would have said, because I have an impression of like the Midwest. You know, I'm thinking cities like Pittsburgh, like the steel workers or whatever,
Cleveland,
the coal mines.
Detroit,
yep. Yeah, right, the auto workers. So I was thinking, Pittsburgh, Detroit, something like that.
I don't know if those are the hardest working places. Those are the places that it stinks to work in.
Yeah.
Like your job just stinks.
Well, those also weren't near the top. The number 1 hardest working city, believe it or not, according to Wallet Hub, is Washington, D.C.
Oh, that's what they'd like you to believe, isn't it?
They say that not only do people in Washington, D.C. work the longest hours, they work more hours, they also leave more of their vacation time unused than most other cities.
That makes sense because all of our political officers have like 160 days off. That's probably why.
And
so they're leading 80 days off.
Probably like hitting the golf course with like some other dignitary counts as working too. Number 2, Irving, Texas. I don't know where that is in relation to the big state of Texas, but Texas very well represented in the hardest working rankings. Because not only was Irving coming in at number 2, you also have Dallas, Austin, Corpus Christi, Plano, Fort Worth, Arlington, Laredo, and Garland were all in the top 20.
Yeah, Irving's kind of on the west side of Dallas, in between Fort Worth and Dallas.
They get a lot of work done.
Apparently they're getting work done down there.
Yeah, in the DFW. Cheyenne, Wyoming was number 3, followed by Virginia Beach, and then Anchorage, Alaska at number 5. I guess in Anchorage, what else do you have to do but work?
You're just working.
Same thing with Cheyenne, pretty much.
You're just working.
And then Virginia Beach, that's a big, that's a military town, right? So I guess they live at work pretty much.
They're just working.
Yeah. But I did also think it was just, the list is interesting. It is crazy that we work so much more hours than other countries.
I hate that.
I know.
Isn't that the worst?
Yeah.
Yet, like, we have, obviously, we work more, but we're also considered the laziest. Is that not true? They think that we're, like, fat and lazy.
Except for, like, French, yeah.
They think we're, like, fat and lazy, but we also work the most hours.
Mm-hmm.
We just have a terrible rep.
Yeah. They just, you know what? They hate us because they ain't us.
Because we're just so successful.
Yeah.
If podcast awards were ever a thing, this show wouldn't win any. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Why don't you give the quick explainer?
Love is Blind, a dating show where you don't see each other and you try to fall in love without looks.
Mm-hmm.
The big controversy is Jimmy, who had pretty much narrowed himself down to two females, Jessica and Chelsea. He was on the phone because they pretty much talk. It's pretty much like a phone call, but they talk.
Yeah.
And one of the conversations that Chelsea and Jimmy were having, Chelsea said, have you ever heard anybody looking like you, like a celebrity lookalike? Do you have a celebrity lookalike?
Yeah.
She brought it up.
Oh.
And Jimmy said, nobody, I don't really have one.
It feels like that's bending the rules of Love is Blind anyways.
Doesn't it? And then when he asked Chelsea, well, do you have one in mind? A look that you have, a celebrity. And she said...
Which is a great question because she brought it up for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. So he could turn right back around.
Yeah.
Chelsea says, I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend, but it's Machine Gun Kelly's significant other, as if she doesn't know the name.
Yeah. The celebrity you supposedly look like, the people tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everybody told you look like Machine Gun Kelly's girlfriend?
Which, of course,
That's what people say.
Which, of course, is one of the most well-known, beautiful people on planet Earth, which is Megan Fox. And she's even said, she tried to play it off by saying, I don't really see it. I think it's just the eye color and the hair. I don't see it, but people have told me that.
Yeah.
So, of course, Jimmy's on the other side. And so he now thinks that Chelsea looks like Megan Fox, which is wild. Because, yet again, Megan Fox, well known as being one of the more attractive people on Earth.
Yeah.
He cuts it off with the other girl, Jessica, who more so resembles Megan Fox than Chelsea does. And needless to say, Chelsea and Jimmy do get to see each other face to face. Chelsea does not resemble Megan Fox. Jimmy is shocked.
It looks like Chelsea has responded to the controversy. She acknowledged that she doesn't look that much like Megan Fox.
She's getting crushed.
Yeah, she is. She's getting crushed. But now, hearing the whole story, it's tough on her because she's the one who brought this whole thing up. In Love is Blind, come on, just don't even do that. It's against the spirit of the game. But just strictly speaking, if somebody had never seen you, because, we're on the radio. A lot of people haven't seen you. If you were to say which celebrity you looked like, it would be unfair because you can't. Almost all celebrities, unbelievably attractive compared to the average person. So if you compare yourself to any of them, you're going to sound more attractive than you actually probably are.
Yeah, when they see you in person, it's going to be a letdown.
Right.
No matter who you say, it's going to be a letdown.
Unless I say, even if I said I look like Danny DeVito, that's what people say to me. Even that would be a letdown to people if they saw me in person. But, who I truly look like, would you...
Danny DeVito.
What I've said past is Shia LaBeouf. Justin Timberlake, if I shaved, maybe Justin Timberlake and, had shorter hair.
I like Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's selling myself way too high based off of what I actually look like. But if I had to compare myself to celebrities, that's who it would be. But then that's setting unreal
when you meet in
expectations.
person, yeah.
Nobody's going to be like, wow, you're just as attractive as Shia LaBeouf.
And also, the comparison to Megan Fox, wild choice.
Yeah.
That's like picking the most attractive guy I can think of.
Yeah.
That has brown hair.
Right.
And saying, I would like him.
It would be wrong. Yeah. It's a little different for her, but it'd be like if we said we look like Jason Momoa.
Jason.
Yeah. People have said, I don't know his name. People say we look like.
I don't see it.
I don't see it at all. I think it's just probably the eye color, but Jason, Aquaman. People say we look like Aquaman.
A lot of people say that I look like Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I don't see it, but that's just what they say. Not like the Chris, like obviously Captain America, Chris Evans.
But like the Chris Evans, like before he transforms into Captain America, when his head is CGI'd onto the tiny body. That part.
Yeah, tough look here. And I will say, if you squinted your eyes the right way, Chelsea does have some things that resemble Megan Fox.
Oh, hi there.
Worst of the Riot.
Crank that up.
Radio U.